Are Iron Blasters any good in patch 5.1? Much like the Scrap Launcher, I'm going to say no, but a more qualified no. It's not good enough. It is better than the Scrap Launcher, but was deliberately nerfed to make the unit unreliable. You can use it, but it will not carry you. Maybe that's how support weapons are meant to be, or maybe it needs a bit of an upgrade to compete with Elspeth's death machines. Recruited for 1700 gold and 425 upkeep, the Iron Blaster comes with 6112 health on Ultra, a fair bit better than the Scrap Launcher. Armor is 90, leadership is 60, speed 66, charge speed 102, so once again the artillery can outpace regular ogres. Melee attack starts at 26, attack interval 4, splash target size very large, max target damage 4. This part is identical to the Scrap Launcher. Melee defense starts at 20. Weapon strength comes at 160, split between base 45 and armor piercing 115. Yes, again, bonus versus infantry is still 20. Charge bonus is 48 and mass is 2200. So, onto the gun. Ammunition is 20 volleys with a range of 380. Missile damage is officially listed as 1172, but each individual projectile inflicts base 75 and armor piercing 300 damage and inflicts armor sundering, which reduces armor by 30 for 10 seconds. Each volley for each individual ammo number fires 5 projectiles, like a shotgun. In other words, setting aside the stats the rest of this segment, the unit needs to be up close and personal to have legitimate chances to land multiple hits in one shot and get anywhere near that immense theoretical damage. Funnily, the main exception to this is city walls and towers, and while ogres have great ability to bring them crumbling down, the Iron Blaster is going to do more of it, faster, and then be plenty usable on interior buildings as well. Reload time is 16 seconds spaced. Total accuracy is the standard 20, calibration distance is 275, and calibration area is 8.5 officially, so you have a decent chance that something is going to hit the enemy at range. Penetration size cap is very large, and max targets hit beyond the first per projectile is 9. That's the max, not what to expect each time. The unit is a siege attacker, causes fear, and has the wounds trait if it's low health. Unlike the Scrap Launcher, this one seems to fire at a unit if holding left alt if directly targeted. Plus you can fire at the ground if not targeting a unit, but you have the option of clicking the force melee button to make it charge in that way anyway. And expect finicky behavior if you have multiple ones in a group. You may find using them alone a bit easier. In the red line, Tools of Destruction once again adds plus 20% ammunition and plus 8% missile strength. Continuous Volley grants rank 7 ones plus 10% speed, which they can use, plus 10% range, which they sure can use, and 15% reload time reduction, which is fantastic. In the tech tree, the late tree tech Stolen Black Powder Recipe is your only solace, offering plus 10% ammunition, plus 10% range, and reload time reduction an additional 10%, which is actually amazing, and probably really helps the feel of using this unit. So how do you use the Iron Blaster? Well, as I pointed out early, in case anyone clicked off the video since that point, actual sieges, even minor settlement sieges facing towers and blockers, gives them a role to greatly speed up your progress. Also, one quirk you may notice from watching is that reload happens even if the unit is on the move. As soon as the unit settles down in points, it fires. This means you can simulate a hidden run style if you really focus. And well, the best use of this unit is absolutely going to be flanking, because making the absolute most of that penetration is your path to glory. If you can't do that, then pelting the enemy at ultra long range and forcing an engagement is good, and as you can see, pelting a dragon that thinks it can stay at range from fairly close by does make the damage accumulate. But, preferably if you have friends in the battle that can keep your Iron Blasters alive. They're worth a lot on paper, so they will be targeted. Basically, you have to understand that they are opportunists and not nearly as reliable as you want, with archer trampling capabilities like the Scrap Launcher, but they can still hurt. Your challenge is making sure you don't do lots of friendly fire, don't get them killed fruitlessly, and still do enough damage to the enemy. That's why, in the current state, with the effective accuracy beaten down to the point that even targeting normal units at long range is very chancy, you're rolling the dice as to what you'll get with each engagement. Nonetheless, The potential is there, and by all means, work to get it. It's not like you aren't running armies that will run over people if given half a chance. Either bait the enemy, flank the enemy, or just run over a really weak section and start shooting from behind. This wraps up my Ogre Kingdom series for the Thrones of Decay era unless they make some massive change to a unit before 6.0, which isn't likely in this case. A lot of units are good, some could be better, some are great, even as is. That's the way of the world. Thank you, hope to see you for plenty of other videos, take care, and have fun, because that's the whole point.